Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ryan from 5-Star Bootcamp. If we haven't met before, I am the owner and one of the trainers here, and I am pumped up to be able to guide you in to the beginning of your 6-week challenge with kind of this orientation. So it's gonna be really simple. Before we start this orientation, I want you to make sure that you've already done two things. Number one, wow! Take and send us your before photo. This is for two reasons. One, because if you don't do it now, it won't happen. And also, you want to have a really good opportunity to be able to look back on your progress. It's a shame when you see that change in the mirror and you see it on the scale and you see it on your body fat, but man, if only you had that photo to be able to just swipe left and right and see it right in front of you. So, bam! Make sure you do that. Stop the video, press pause, don't do anything else until you've done that. Also in the email, it'll give you some steps to make sure you do it very well. Go into a well-lit area like this one, wear some form-fitting clothing or clothing that you wouldn't usually wear to work out, like a little bit even tighter or more revealing so you can see the change. Most of our clients do sports bra and shorts. If they're women, if they're men, no shirt and shorts. So I'll give you some time to do that. No, really, go do it now. Go do it. Go do it. Okay, if you're watching now, that means you paused me and you went to go do it, now you're back. Number two, whoosh, join the 5-Star Family Facebook group. This is for multiple reasons, with the main reason being it is going to be your fastest resource to be able to not only get answers to questions you have, but also to be able to gain the experience of not only 6-week challengers that are on the program, but 6-week challengers that have now finished the program and are on regular membership, so they have all the experience, plus our legacy members who have been with us for more than a year, and not to mention as well our trainers. So to be able to have all of these resources in one place, you could ask a question and within 5 minutes have 10 responses from tons of different people. So again, pause the video, do that now. Do it. The link should be in the email. Do it. Do it right now. Right now. Okay, if you're watching this, that means you've done step 1 and step 2. Let's move on to the orientation. So there's 3 areas here that we're going to focus on. The first area is going to be the area that is the simplest, right? Workouts. Now with your workouts, what we are requiring on the program is that you train 3 times a week. And in order to get optimal results in this program, 3 times a week is all you need. A lot of people will say, oh man, I'm so committed, I'm gonna train 6 times a week. But as you can see here, more isn't necessarily better. You see, the way that we've created your nutrition plan, which you should have now, which we're gonna go over in a second, is we've put you in a caloric deficit that would be considered extreme, right? It's your extreme caloric deficit. It's pretty much at the point that if you create even more of a caloric deficit, you're not going to lose anything. And I know that sounds crazy, but to put it into terms of everyone can understand, if we could think of it like your body has fat for survival, right? And it's an energy source. So if you're in a caloric deficit that's already super big, right? And your body, and you go even lower, your body flips into this, we'll call it survival mode, where your body goes, oh my gosh, if I keep going at this rate and I lose the fat, I'm gonna die in like a couple weeks. This is not good. So it switches around your hormones so you lose nothing. The reason I tell you this, and it's one of the first things I tell you, is because one, we have people that train too much on this program and don't eat all their nutrition, don't follow the plan, and don't get all the food in. The first thing I'm going to tell you with your nutrition plan is yes, you have to eat all of the food. You have to eat all the food. You're probably not going to be, I'll say, hungry on this nutrition plan. You just got to eat all the food. You got to do it because you're already at the caloric deficit that's going to get the best result. Don't eat any less and don't work out anymore. If you're the type of person, normally I don't say this, but if you're the type of person that, is like almost addicted to working out and you have to train more than 3 times a week because it makes you mentally feel better, you can do that, but just know you have to reach out to your accountability coach immediately so that they can increase your calories, because if you don't, you're not going to lose any weight. Awesome. Now that we got that out of the way, let's move forward. So more isn't better. If I was you, in your case, only train 3 times a week. Only train 3 times a week. I'll say it again. Only train 3 times a week. The reason is because when you do less work, you'll get a better result. Also, this accomplishment feedback loop will kick in psychologically. You'll be like, oh my God, I only did this amount of work and I got this amount of result. Let me work harder. And then at that point, it's okay to work harder because we're going to increase your calories anyway. So, number 2, make sure you start at 50 to 75% intensity. This depends on what you're coming from for your background. If you've been working out already for 4 years and now you're just looking to kick it up or you're looking to accelerate your results, you can probably start at close to 100%, 90%. But if you haven't worked out in weeks, months, or years, it's still cool that you're doing this program. But start off easy. The reason being, you know it, I know it, we all know it. When you start a new exercise program, what happens? The next day, 2 days after, 3 days after. If you train legs, you're not walking. If you train legs, you're not going up and down stairs. And if you train legs, you're going to need to be using that handicap rail because it is painful. So, start off 50 to 75% and go up from there. The reason I can tell you that and kind of kid about it is because it gets better a lot quicker than you would imagine. The soreness that you feel in week 1, you won't feel in week 2 and 3. You will acclimate rather to the stresses that you're putting on your body very soon, which is good. So that's it for the workouts. We're already done there. Awesome. Okay, let's move on. Accountability. Now with the accountability, there's a couple things that you can look forward to. The first thing is we want you to know that you can expect 2 weekly check-ins. And with the 2 weekly check-ins, it's going to be mainly around your weigh-in, right? Now here's the thing. This is what our accountability coaches are, instructed to do. So the reason we do twice a week is because 1, we don't want to annoy you, but also we found it optimal for keeping that communication going. If you have any more questions, you can definitely reach out to them more than they reach out to you. They are your immediate resource to be able to get information, but honestly, the Facebook group is probably where you'll get a faster response because you're waiting on one person there versus 300 to 400 people there. So use this, but they'll be there for you more if you need it. In these 2 check-ins, one is just going to be a general check-in, just making sure middle of the week you're good. The other check-in is right around your weigh-in. So, how's your weigh-in look? If you weighed in and you look awesome, they're probably going to tell you, you're awesome, keep it going. If you didn't lose anything, they're going to start troubleshooting with you. They're going to do some results troubleshooting where they're able to look at it and go, okay, hey, what's going on? Did your workouts change? Did your nutrition change? Are you following the plan to a T? Have you varied? Are you drinking enough water? Are you sleeping? And we're going to figure out what needs to be done to get you that result. Hopefully, though, I give you enough information in this orientation that they don't need to do any troubleshooting for you at all, which would be awesome. So you can expect that twice a week. With that, you are expected to weigh in weekly before Fridays. Usually, Fridays is the cutoff because that's when a lot of our trainers don't work over the weekend. So as you weigh in before Friday, you'll be able to have that troubleshooting for the weekend as well. So it's your responsibility to weigh in weekly, every single week. Weigh in. If you don't weigh in, our accountability coach is going to reach out to you and say, hey, weigh in. But in the time now that you didn't weigh in, you cannot receive that results troubleshooting so that we can't help you. Here's an example. If you are on fire until week 2, and then you're only down 4 pounds in the end of week 2, beginning of week 3, which is still okay, you're on track to lose 15 pounds, but it's not at the 20, what do? Well, if you didn't weigh in, then we're not going to be able to give you that result. If it takes you an extra week to get in your numbers, it's already the end of week 3. Now you're going into week 4 without the result. See what I'm saying? Weighing in is super important. Make sure you do it. Set an appointment for yourself to weigh in. And it's super simple. You don't even need to use a trainer. If you want to, get help from a trainer, that's fine. But all you got to do is hop on the scale, do your body fat, and then find yourself on the chart, whoosh, put in your weight and body fat. That is it. Super simple. But if our trainer is nearby, we'd love to do it with you. We'd love to shout out progress. Last thing is for accountability, make sure you check in on Facebook before your workout. I say before your workout, but you could also do after your workout. I say before just because it's a good reminder. Okay, last piece. Man, accountability is already done. Let's move on. Last piece. Bam! Nutrition. Okay, I only put one thing for nutrition. We are going to go over the plan, but simply put, follow the plan to a T. There's nothing else I can tell you that's going to get a better result than that. That is it. Remember, what did we talk about in orientation? If you did an orientation with me, or if you did it with somebody else, you know, what we most likely told you is that the number one challenge with getting results is what? It's generally not the program, especially not in this case. What is it? It's adherence. It's sticking to it. And the difference between people that get results on this program and that don't, right there. Follow the program to a T. The way that we'll know if you're following the program to a T is if you're getting results. If you're not getting results, generally speaking, 98% of the time you're not following the program. So let's go over the nutrition plan real quick. Now, your meal plan, everyone's meal plan is going to look different, right? Because everyone had a different height, weight, and adjusted metabolism when they came in. So what you'll notice is with the meal plan, there's parts that are the same, but I'll show you the part that will be different too. So as we start off at the top, what you're going to notice is we have our 4 categories. Now with your 4 categories, you have your protein, your palm is the serving size, you have fat, a tablespoon is your serving size, you have your carbs, a fist is the serving size, and then you have veggies where a fist is a serving size. Now, any of these things are what you can eat during your 6-week challenge. Now, as we look at that as well, as we go into the nutrition plan, this is the part that's going to change for you guys. All we're going to do is color code it to the meal. That's it. So, quick example time. Let's say we have breakfast. On this meal plan, it's a really simple one. We have 1 serving of protein, 1 serving of veggies, and you'll see that it's 0.5 or a half serving of carbs. So with that, we would choose one of these. Let's say I'm going to have 1.25 cups of egg whites. Cool. That's my protein. For my veggies, I'm going to do, let's say, a fist size of spinach because I'm going to put it in a omelet. And then I'm also going to do, I have to do a half serving of carbs, so I'm going to do half of anything from this list. And, you know, I might do 1 serving size is 2/3 cups of oatmeal, so I'm going to do a 1/3 cup of oatmeal. Yeah, I like some oatmeal. Boom. That's my breakfast. You do the same thing at lunch, the same thing at dinner. That's it. I'll show you one more just so you have some additional context of a different meal plan. With this meal plan, you'll notice that one distinct difference is you have a fat source in there. The reason that the last meal plan didn't have a fat source is because through your protein sources, you're generally going to be getting in some fat, especially with the ground beef, the bison burger, the venison, the Greek yogurt, if there's fat in there, cottage cheese, if you choose to put the fat in there. So we want to make sure that it's all equaling up, which we've done already, equaling it up behind the scenes. Now you just got to follow the plan. So same stuff here. The only thing that's different is the amounts. And so instead of like a half serving at breakfast, it's a full serving. That's it. Super simple stuff, guys. But again, if you have questions on it, you know, questions are totally welcome. Feel free to ask them in the Facebook group or reach out to your accountability coach and we'll make it happen. So the other 2 things that you'll notice in here is you have shakes midday. So as you have those shakes midday, you can do a couple different things. Some of our members will, you know, let's say it comes down to convenience and you want to be able to grab it on the go. I recommend in that case Premier Protein, P-R-E-M-I-E-R Protein. You can get them at Walmart, you can get them at Stop and Shop. They come in like an 8-pack, they're refrigerated, and you just shake them up and you pound it, and it's like 30 grams of protein each. Awesome, totally acceptable. If you want more of a powder, so you can put it into a, let's say, shaker bottle and shake it up, then there's a couple I recommend. One of them is Dymatize. Dymatize is got some pretty good chocolate tasting protein. And then Quest is pretty good as well. Quest is a milkshake. Chocolate milkshake is pretty good as well. I recommend that one. But one of the things you'll find is the protein powder, to a certain extent, doesn't really matter for the short term, right? Usually you'll be all set with whatever you choose. But if you have questions on it, feel free to reach out to us and we'll help you out. So one common question that we get with this is, oh my gosh, again, do I have to eat all the food? Yes, you have to eat all the food. Number 2 is, what happens if I miss a meal? So you know what, I'm not hungry in the morning. Like, I can't force down this food, Ryan. Like, it's killing me. What do I do? Do I miss the meal? Like you said, get all the food in? Good question. So if you miss breakfast for whatever reason, you just have to take this and put it at another meal. Because the most important thing, if we're looking at kind of the overarching factors, I guess we'll call them, it's going to be making sure that you can get all this food in. So meal frequency is less important, and overall energy balance is more important, which we're not going to get all crazy with the mumbo jumbo. Just get in all the food. So even if you miss all this and it's dinner time, fit all of it in at dinner. But don't do that because you'll probably not feel good. So just eat it the way it's prescribed. Now, one of the things you'll notice right beneath it, and the reason I put it in bold is so that you would see it, it says, if it is not on the list, you cannot have it for 6 weeks. And again, you'll notice the note I put beneath it, eliminate before you moderate. That will come next. If it's not on the list, it's by design. Everything that we've put on this list is by design. It's to get you the best result in 6 weeks. Because again, we've talked about why we want to do this, but at the end of the day, if you can get an amazing result in 6 weeks, a new belief is going to happen for you. And if you get a new belief, that's when everything starts to change. You know, your identity can start to change from, you know, the person that could never lose weight and, you know, the person that's been on 1,000 diets to, you know, hey, maybe I could be an athlete. And that's when stuff gets pretty exciting. So, hope that makes sense. I put some samples at the samples for sample breakfast, sample lunch, sample dinner on all of your meal plans. So you'll have that for you. And then the last piece is just right on the back. We have the Ultimate Grocery Helper List. So what I like to do, again, simplicity is the key. The enemy of execution is complexity. So if you're, how can I say that? If you are leading up to chance what you're going to eat every day, there's a high likelihood that you're probably going to not follow the plan. So what I like to do is prepare. Preparedness is key, right? I used to have somebody that I looked up to say the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Right there. So with that in mind, what I want you to do is plan out at least 2 of these categories every week. What are you going to eat for breakfast for the whole week? And then what are you going to eat for lunch for the whole week, right? And you can have some variety, say, at dinner. Or you could do it the opposite. I'm going to have the same thing for dinner every day, or I'm going to do something different for lunch. Generally speaking, because you have a work day and we like to have that certainty of what we're going to have, breakfast and lunch, you always have down. Dinner is where you have some more free time, right? Assuming that you have a usual, I'll say, American-style job, right? 9 to 5. With that in mind, you have at the top how much that you need to buy in order to be set for the week. So for example, if you were going to have, let's say, your oatmeal in the morning, then you need to have 1 container of oats. It's pretty straightforward. Just follow the list, you'll be good to go. Again, any questions, reach out to the group, reach out to your accountability coach, we'll make it happen. The last thing on the bottom is for an opportunity for you to check off any optional flavor enhancers and beverages you'd like to add below. All of these things are 0 calorie, so they won't affect your result in the short term for 6 weeks. And these are things like, I know you can read, but I may as well read to you. Mustard, soy sauce, any Mrs. Dash seasoning, any dry spices, any dry rubs for meat, lemon juice, balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper, stevia, aspartame, Splenda, any hot sauces, water, black coffee, green tea, sugar-free, cream-free iced tea, Crystal Light, diet soda, and Mio flavored water. Again, some of these things on this list may not be the most healthy long-term because of the artificial flavors, but our goal is not to maximize your health right now. The best way we can maximize your health right now is by losing the weight, in most cases. So that's what we're going to focus on. So with all that in mind, that is about it for the nutrition plan. Really simple. And at the bottom, I just added into, if as long as it has 0 calories, you can have as much as you want, even if it's not on the list. But we have just about everything on that list. So that's about everything you need to know. But instead of ending it there, I want to give you a couple results-destroying mistakes. And the reason I say it with that amount of tonality and verbiage is because you can do everything else right and not get results by missing one of these things. So, I'm going to say each one, and I'm going to say it like with a lot of passion, and I'm going to say it like slowed down a little bit. So number 1, the first results destroying mistake is not sleeping 7 or more hours a night. Now I know you might be thinking, but Ryan, it's impossible for me to sleep 7 hours a night. It's impossible because of this variable and that variable and that variable. That may be true. But what I'm here to tell you is that you need to find a way to make it happen. Instead of telling me why you can't do it, find a solution to why you need to do it, right? I'm telling you why you need to do it, but find a way to do it. And again, you're not alone. Facebook group, we've had tons of people that have had these challenges. Reach out to them, reach out to us, we'll help you. Same thing with your accountability coach, but it'd probably be better to reach out here. So why is that happening, first of all? Well, when you sleep, a lot of things happen. Really, I guess we could say, if we were to kind of put it all into a simple sentence, when you sleep, or actually, when you lose body fat, right? When your body is going to lose body fat, hormones play a huge role in that. When you sleep, your hormones regulate. And when they regulate, they're in a better position to lose weight. Or people are in a better position to lose weight because their hormones are favorable. Right? This is kind of on a side road, but if you're familiar with people that have like Hashimoto's or thyroid challenges, they can't lose any weight because their hormones are screwed up. So if you don't sleep and you do everything else right, you won't get results. So make sure, priority number 1, sleep. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. And don't worry about this until you've figured out your sleep. The reason I'm saying that first is because it's the most important. Not only is it the most important, it is the most common mistake. What I do not want to have happen, and I know I'm harping on this, but what I do not want to have happen is I do not want to meet with you in week 3, 4, or 5 because you're not getting results just to find out you're not sleeping. Don't let that happen. Get your sleep. Number 2, I know I've already said it. The result-destroying mistake, not following your meal plan. Come on! The meal plan that we've designed for you is going to work. You just have to follow it. Even if it's challenging to follow at times, even if, oh my God, I'm so stuffed, I can't eat all the food, your appetite will grow as you're adjusting. So eat all the food, don't eat anything else, and just get it done. Again, the goal is moderation second. So we're going to teach you how to be able to eat, those foods that you might be missing by the end and still be able to get to your goals too. But short term, what did we say? The number 1 problem is adherence. And then the enemy of execution is complexity. So if I give you, you can do this sometimes, it's like, that's another variable. No, get it out. Get results first, we add variables later. Hope that's making sense. Boom! Number 3, results destroying mistake! Not weighing in. By weighing in, we can give you results troubleshooting. If you do not weigh in, we have no idea where you are. And asking for help because you're not losing weight, but there's nothing to compare it to, where it's like closing our eyes and like saying that there's a dartboard in here, but you won't tell me where, and I'm just going to kind of throw some arrows out, throw some darts out. Doesn't make any sense. So the point is you have to weigh in so we have something to base it off of. Without your weigh-ins, we cannot help. So I hope that makes sense. Number 4, not drinking enough water. This one is still important. It's not quite as important as this one and this one and this one, but still very important because one, when you are hydrated, you're going to feel better. Your skin's going to look better. You're going to train better. You're going to have a lower risk of injury when you're training intensely, which is awesome. But it's also going to keep you fuller longer, which is going to be awesome. So, last but not least, here it comes. The results-destroying mistake is not communicating with your accountability coach. Your accountability coaches are there to help you, so make sure when they reach out to you, reach out back. Even if it's just to reach back out to say, you know what? I'm good. That's all we need. And you'll be all set. But if you do have any questions, it is your responsibility to make sure that you're getting the results as well. Don't just go through and if you're not getting results, just be the quiet one at the end that says, I didn't get any results. No! To fix that, all you got to do is reach out to your accountability coach if you have any questions, and we'll be here to help. So with that, we are officially done. I am so excited to be able to have you get these results and really become a member of the 5-Star family. So I look forward to it. It's going to be awesome, and reach out to us if you have any questions. Whoa, pow! See you Monday!